Okay. Namaste. Anjali, can we start?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Everybody is there, no? On board?
Still some more remaining, sir.
Okay, let them join. Okay,
Yes,
because
sir.
we no time for us. Okay, good afternoon. We will continue our discussion. We are almost end of the second module. I don't think we can finish today. We try to finish at least tomorrow, that 11 to 12 hour. So morning lecture, we have seen about the clutter attenuation and improvement factor, right? How statistically we can measure the performance of the MTI, because the performance of the MTI will be measured in terms of clutter attenuation as well as the gain introduced by the delay line canceller, because that is the main element in the MTI which distinguishes the clutter profile and the moving target profile and attenuate the clutter profile. That we have derived some standard mathematical equations to compute the CA as well as IF, CA as well as IF. And we got some general expression as well in order to just substitute the value for n so that you can attain the average gain introduced by the delay line canceller and attenuation of the delay line canceller, so that you can measure the improvement factor. And then we simulated all these estimations in the MATLAB, and then we got some results, right? Today we will continue the same topic and finish. Then tomorrow we will plan for two topics, that is matched filter and CFAR. Matched filter and CFAR is also essential, particularly for pulse radar. So with these two, we will finish this second module. Then we move into FMCW radar. So to continue the same topic, means analysis of PRF, stacked PRF, we proceed into blind speed estimation of true blind speed measurement or computation of stacked PRF. Stacked PRF. Stacked PRF, right? Listen carefully. Now we came to know the PRF should be stacked between different values. Matlab, suppose one may be 100 hertz, another one may be 150 hertz, 200 hertz, 250 hertz, and so on. The stacking of PRF is mandatory such a way that that will nullify the range ambiguity, right? Doppler ambiguity, also the blind speed. Therefore, one should definitely stack the PRF, right? But while stacking the PRF, we needed to have some estimation procedure where the blind speed will be pushed off. Means when we operate at 100 hertz PRF, it will be at 100 hertz, 200 hertz, 200 hertz, first blind speed. Then 300 hertz, 300 hertz, first blind speed. But when we stack in between 100 hertz and 300 hertz with one level, that is 200 hertz, where your first blind speed will be pushed away or pushed off actually. We needed to measure it. We should have that knowledge before beginning the stacking of PRFs. Means there will be a data set in the radar signal processing module, set 1, set 2, set 3. Set 1 will be 100 hertz, 200 hertz, 500 hertz. Set 2 will be 75 hertz, 150 hertz, like that. Depends upon the situation. And then the field where we want to install the radar, one should select the PRF array. That what we call the PRF array. Means set 1, set 2, set 3. So every PRF, where will be the blind speed actually? If you operate it at one PRF, you will come to know that the PRF itself is the first blind speed. For example, 100 hertz. Then the FP will be 100 hertz, means obviously your blind speed will appear. Then if 200 hertz, it will appear at the 200 hertz that we have already seen, because the blind speed is equal to the PRF or multiples of PRF. If you recall our previous discussion, so this is the first blind speed, second blind speed here, right? So this is FP, This is 2FP. So your FP is 100 hertz. Obviously, your first blind speed is at 100 hertz. In another PRF, if it is 250 hertz, then your first blind speed will be obviously at 250 hertz, right? But when we are stacking in between these two, what is the relation? Where is the PRF then? Where is the first blind speed then? Because of the stacking of this PRF between 100 and 250 or 100 and 150 or 50 and 150. So when you stack in between two PRF, where the first blind speed, how do you compute that first blind speed? How it will be pushed away? How it will be pushed away further? So if you know how to estimate the first blind speed, what is the procedure? What is the method to estimate the first blind speed? Then accordingly, you can push the first blind speed to the value that you want, the value you need or you want in the field deployment time, right? So in order to understand this one and then compute the first blind speed, we need to follow certain procedures and then understand some fundamental concepts associated to the PRFs and then our multiple PRF generation and then stacking among them. So I am taking some relation. Anjali, okay, I will increase this one then. Video, it is already at maximum only. I will try to bring it down. How is now, Anjali?
Yes, sir. Now better.
Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So FP, this is our amplitude. FP, 2FP, and so on. 3FP and so on, right? So listen now, suppose I'm taking one FP, one is equal to, for example, 100 hertz. FP1 is equal to 100 hertz. And FP2 is equal to maybe 3 by 2 times of FP1. 3 by 2 times of FP1, right? Obviously here FP2 is different. FP1 is 100 hertz. FP2 is a different value because it is 3 by 2 into FP1 now, right? So that means that is equal to 3 by 2 into 100 hertz. That is equal to what? You tell me in frequency.
150. 150.
Yeah, 150 hertz. 150 hertz. FP2 is equal to 150 hertz. And FP1 we have taken, that value is 100 hertz. FP1 equal to 100 hertz. Now listen, dear students, since I have generated two PRFs, one is at 100 hertz, another one is at 150 hertz, right? But I'm not going to operate these two PRFs for longer time. I'm going to stack among them. I'm going to stack among them in the sense, maybe first few pulses are at 100 hertz and remaining few pulses will be at 150 hertz. Or pulse to pulse, I can change the PRF, or scan to scan, or dual time to dual time. So FP, it will be operated at FP1 for some time and FP2 for some time. So whenever we are operating at FP1, obviously I will get the first blind speed at 100 hertz. Here V1 is equal to 100 hertz. And then whenever we are operating at FP2, the first blind speed V1 will be at 150 hertz. 150 hertz. But we know very well, because whenever we are operating, the 100 hertz blind speed is there for 100 hertz PRF, but there is no any blind speed at 100 hertz when we operate the pulse with 150 hertz. Whenever we are operating the second PRF, the 100 hertz blind speed is removed. It is not there, but there is a new blind speed that is at 100 hertz, 150 hertz. But when we operate at 100 hertz, then 150 hertz is not there. Therefore, that is removed. Right, the blind speed is only at 100 hertz now. So the idea is one PRF hides the another PRF, or one PRF bring out the information of another PRF. Therefore, you can detect the target at 100 hertz as also at 150 hertz, though their Doppler frequency is equal to FP1 and FP2. So because of stacking, one will not be detected in one PRF and that will be detected in the another PRF. In the same way, FP2 will detect the FP1 target and FP1 will detect the F2 target now, right? F2 target. This is fine. That is in general, right? But where will be the first blind speed then? So we are telling that the V1, whenever we are stragging at FP1 and FP2, where is V1 then? Where is V1? Question mark. Where will be the V1? Or there is no V1 at all? There is no, we cannot say that there is no V1 at all. V1 will definitely be there. You cannot avoid the blind speed. You can further, you can move the blind speed somewhere. You can push the blind speed away. So all this stacking technique will help us to just push the blind speed away from the closer value, right? Therefore, there will be definitely the blind speed, but how to compute it, how to get the value of that blind speed. So what is a blind speed then? What does it mean? Suppose you take this equation again, from where we derived the second PRF. So that is a FP2 is equal to 3 by 2 into FP1. 3 by 2 into FP1. So that is nothing but you multiply here 2 times of FP2 is equal to 3 times of FP1. That means wherever the 2 FP1 is equal to 3 FP2 is equal to 3 FP1, right? So that is the, suppose you substitute here, we will continue, substitute here 2 into what is FP2, 150 hertz, and then 3 into what is FP1, 100 hertz. So that is equal to 2 into 150, 300 hertz. Here 3 into 100, also 300 hertz. The idea is this 2 into FP2 is equal to 3 into FP1 is equal to a number. It will be a number. In general, it will be a number, right? So in general, whenever your neta 1 into FP1 is equal to neta 2 into FP2 is equal to a number, right? Equal to a number, or the number part you leave time being, whenever neta 1 into FP1 is equal to neta 2 into FP2, that value will be the first blind speed value whenever you are stacking the PRF with the FP1 and FP2 values. With the FP1 and FP2 values. I'm repeating, the blind speed will appear at the value x hertz, whenever the N1 FP1 equal to N2 FP2 equal to x. The idea is whenever the N1 FP1 is equal to N2 FP2, we know very well FP1 and FP2 will not be same. Therefore, N1 and L2 will not be same, but N1 and N2 will be some integer value, positive integer value, which makes N1 into FP1 is equal to N2 into FP2. So multiplication of that N1 into FP1 and that N2 into FP2 will give you one value that is X. So that is the value where that is the Doppler value, that is the frequency value, that is a value for FP, where your first blind speed will actually occur. So that what we call the true blind speed here, true blind speed. So the true blind speed will appear at N1 FP1 is equal to N2 FP2. That means what is the value of neta 1? What is the value of neta 2? We know the FP1 value, FP2 value. If you find the N1 value and the N2 value, means the eta 1 value and the eta 2 value, then you can find that value X. This is nothing but X. This is nothing but X. Therefore, that is equal to X. The X is the true value V1, first blind speed. First blind speed. So in this case, since it is just only the two-level comparison means the stacking is happening only between two PRFs. Therefore, straight away you can take here the neta 1 is equal to 3 and neta 2 is equal to 2. Therefore 3 into FP1 is equal to 2 into FP2, that is 3 into 100 is equal to 2 into 150, that is 300. That is 300. That means if you see here, if you plot the response here, This is the first PRF. First PRF means this is at 100, this is 200, this is 300, this is 300, right? And then second PRF 150, right? 150 and 300, 150 and 300. This is the second PRF, means 150 and then 300. 150 first blind speed, second blind speed 300 now, right? So what does it mean? The blind speed will appear at 300 Hz. See, at 300 Hz, both this is a PRF1, this is nothing but a PRF1, this is nothing but PRF2, but at this instant PRF1 is equal to PRF2 is equal to 300. At that instant, your magnitude H of F, magnitude H of F is equal to 0. H of F is equal to 0. That means it says that the first blind speed occurs at this point. V1 is equal to 300 Hz. V1 is equal to 300 Hz. Now listen here. This is 150. This is 300. This is 100. Sorry, this is 150. 150. Then this is 300 for second PRF. Now, if you analyze here, this equation, you take back this equation here, the neta 1 into 100 is equal to neta 2 into 150. The value is here 3, and this value is here 2. That means that, you listen, the blind speed V1 will appear. That is the third times of FP1 and second time of FP2. That means the first true blind speed is shifted away by 3 times of blind speed of FP1 and 2 times of the blind speed of FP2. You listen here. This is the blind speed 1. V1 for FP1. 1, 2, 3. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3 for FP1. And for FP2, this is 1. This is 2. So third blind speed of FP1 and the second blind speed of FP2 is the actual true blind speed whenever we are applying stacking in between FP1 and FP2. Now. So our intention is finding the N1, N2 value now. So since it is just a straight away comparison, F2 is derived from the F1, FP2 is derived from the FP1 by this relation. So just we multiplied and then we compared and found the value for eta 1 and eta 2. Now by comparing that value, we came to know that the value of X is 300. Therefore, the first blind speed will appear at the 300 Hz. That is there, right? Now life is simple because we have only 2 comparison. In case we have 3 PRFs, suppose 3 PRFs we are using now. In that case, the condition will be neta 1 FP1 is equal to neta 2 FP2 is equal to neta 3 FP3. That is equal definitely X. So this is the condition where the first blind speed will appear whenever we are using 3 PRFs. So the PRFs shifting or the blind speed shifting has no any business with the DLC operation. DLC operation is only for signal amplification and then clutter attenuation, right? But the stacking of PRF is directly related to the shifting the blind speed here and there. And then whenever we are stacking it, obviously the blind speed will be shifted somewhere now. So if you augment this example, what happened? At this instant of time, the PRF1 is 0, but the PRF2 is not 0. Therefore, your augmented response will be something like this. It will be something like this. You see now? So this is the response of your augmented response of your stacked PRF response. It means there is no any blend speed here. No blend speed here as well. No any blend speed here also. Blend speed is only shifted to 300 Hz because of stacking the PRF between 100 and 150 Hz now. So this is the response. This is the response of the stacked PRF. Stacked PRF. Now this is fine. It is fine because we have only 2 PRFs. But whenever we have 3 PRFs, we have to extend the same discussion to understand how to compute the X value. How to compute the X value now. So that you can measure or you can compute the V1, where the V1 will be. Then we can generalize our equation. If it is a 5 PRF, 6 PRF, 7 PRF, how to get the value of first blind speed. So what I do, I will take another example. This is example 1. I take one more example, example 2. Example 2. So I'm taking now 3 PRFs. Any doubt? Please ask me any doubt on this one. No. Then example 2, suppose I'm taking FP1 is equal to 220 Hz. Right. FP2 is equal to 2 by 3 FP1 and FP3 is equal to 4 by 3 FP1. You can take any value here, just randomly I'm choosing so that the number will be the integer. So 20 Hz. You tell me what is the value here and what is the frequency value here. You tell me. This is 20 Hz. What is FP2 and what is FP3? Calculate and tell me. Keep the calculators with you all the time.
13.33.
13.33, right? 33 Hz.
Yes, sir.
FP3?
Yes, sir.
FP3 is what?
26.6.
26.66.
26.66.
26.6.
Okay. You tell me the time for this one. T1 is equal to T2 is equal to T3 is equal to 1 divided by 20 is 0. TP1 actually. TP1, TP2, TP3. 0.05 second. And TP2 is TP2 equal to 1 divided by 13.33 gets no.
0.075.
0.75.
Yes, sir.
5 second. And TP3 0.0
375.
37. Okay, 37. We'll take on 2 digit. 0.37 second. 0.37 second. Right. Now listen. What is the condition now? These are all the values. That means we are going to stack the PRF between 20 Hz and 13.33 Hz and also 26.66 Hz. We have 3 PRFs. We are going to stack in between these 3 values. I mean this value, then this value, and this value, again this value. Or depends upon the application or requirements. You can stay in 20 Hz for some time, then you can move into 13.33 Hz as well. That depends upon the application of our surveillance. Next, we know that in order to find the first blind speed, we have to check neta 1 FP1 should be equal to eta 2 FP2 should be equal to eta 3 FP3, right? FP3 is a number, right? Is a number. In the same way you can extend also. So definitely the first blind speed will appear whenever the eta 1 fp1 equal to eta 2 fp2 equal to eta 3 fp3. That means this condition, at which frequency this condition is true. I mean, we know what is fp1, we know what is fp2, we know what is fp3, but if we do not know what is eta 1, eta 2, eta 3, right? So whenever you multiply with the eta 1 and whenever you multiply with eta 2 and eta 3, this value, all the values are equal to x now, right? So that x will be the first blind speed now. That x will be the first blind speed. So we do not know the x, we do not know the n1. Therefore, we cannot go for any linear algebra to solve this equation, right? It is difficult to solve the equation because if you write in the vector form, this side you can write fp1 0 0, fp0 fp2 0, 0 0 fp3 into n1 n2 n3 in column, that is equal to x. Correct, no? But there are two unknowns now. So straight away solving it by the linear algebra is difficult. Therefore, we need to find some other method to solve this equation now. But anyway, we got to resolve this equation. We should find neta 1, neta 2, and neta 3. Right? So if you know the x, you can find it easily. But if you do not know x also, right? So what I'm doing now, we got to apply some certain procedure to find the value of this one now. So what I'm doing now, I'm doing here something like this. That is neta 1 into fp1 is equal to x is valid. Correct? In the same way, neta 2 and fp2 is also x is valid, because all these values are equal to x only. Therefore, individually also we can assign to x, because it is something like that. We can multiply together. Whenever we multiply neta 1 and neta 2 here, the value is 300. Here also the value is 300. So that is equal. This is equal to x. X is nothing but 300 here now. Right? So these numbers are integer number, and also that the value should be equal to x. Meaning is neta 1 fp1 is equal to neta 2 fp2 is equal to neta 2 f3. In the sense this product should give the same value. There should be the same value. There should not be different values. Right? It should be the same value. Then only they are equal. But that should be equal, because at that condition only all the PRFs will result into the zero response. Therefore, we call it as the first blind speed. Right. So therefore, n1 fp1 equal to x, n2 fp2 also can be individually assigned into x, and then neta 3 into fp3 also can be individually assigned into x. Can be individually assigned into x now. So kya hota hai now? From here, the neta 1 is equal to x divided by fp. fp1, that is nothing but x divided by, here fp1 is 20. So neta 1 is equal to x divided by 20. X divided by 20. In the same way, the neta 2 is equal to x divided by fp. X divided by fp, or else we'll understand something like that. Into what is fp2? That is equal to x. What is fp2 actually? fp2 is nothing but 2 by 3 into fp1. fp1 is nothing but 20. fp1 is nothing but 20. So from here, the n2 is equal to 3 times of x divided by 2 into 20, 40. So neta 2 is equal to 3 into x divided by 40. In the same way, you tell me for neta 3 this side. Neta 3 is equal to what? Neta 3 into what is fp3? 4 by 3 into 20 is equal to x. Therefore, neta 3 is equal to what?
3 by 4x. 3x by 4.
3x by 4 into 20, 80. Right. That means now we found the value at neta 1 equal to x by 20, neta 2 equal to 3x by 40, neta 3 equal to 3x by 80. Therefore, you can represent it in this way that neta 1, neta 2, neta 3 is equal to now x by 20 and 3x by 40 and then 3x by 80. 3x by 80, where neta 1, neta 2, and neta 3, also the x are integers, positive integers, right? Now listen here, this x by 20, right? 3x by 40, 3x by 80, right? It meaning is the n1 should be integer, n2 should be integer, n3 should be integer. Therefore, right? Therefore, the x value, no, the x divided by 20, 3x divided by 40, 3x divided by 80, we needed to find least common multiplier to all these values. That is to all these values, value of x here, value of x here, value of x here. So if you find the least common multiplier for all these three factors, right, such a way that that after applying that x value, the n1 should be integer, n2 should be integer, and n3 should be integer. Therefore, we can go for finding the LCM. So I am taking the LCM now for these values. First value is 20, 40, 80. You take the LCM here. If you take by 20, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Again you continue here. 2, 1, 2. Again you continue LCM. 2, 1, 1. Therefore, the least common multiplier is equal to 20 into 2 into 2. That is equal to how much? 80. That is
80.
equal to 80 now. See, dear students, in the 80 is the least common multiplier. 80 is the least common multiplier. Correct? No? So our value, the neta 1, neta 2, and neta 3 can be obtained now by substituting this 80. This is nothing but x. This is nothing but x. So you substitute there now. So neta 1 is equal to what? And neta 2 is equal to what? And neta 3 is equal to what? So neta 1 is equal to x divided by 20. That is equal to 3x divided by 40. That is equal to 3x divided by 80. That is equal to, you tell me what is x? What is neta 1, eta 2, eta 3?
Eta 1 4, sir.
Eta 1 is 4. And eta 2?
6.
6. What about others?
3, sir.
Only is answering. Neta 3 is what?
3.
3. What is the, well, 3 no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
3, sir.
So now neta 1 is equal to 4, neta 2 is equal to 6, neta 3 equal to 3. You go back and substitute in this equation. In this equation, you substitute there, then 4 into, what is FP1? 20 is equal to 6 into 13.33 is equal to 3 into 26.66 should be equal to 80 now. Should be equal to 80. Obviously, no, because we found these values from here only, from this relation only. So this is 80. This is 80. All are 80, no?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, hello?
So it's like 79.98 like that.
That is okay, because whenever you computed the FP2, we have taken only 2 digits after the dot, no? So that difference will be there. This is absolutely 80 now. So therefore, the first blind speed here, in this case, no, it will appear at 80. V1 is equal to 80. Sorry, not V1, FD equal to. FD is equal to 80. That means if the frequency is 80, then you will be getting the first blind speed. You will be getting the first blind speed, right? So before continuation, I will give you one more example. You try to do it. Meanwhile, I will open the MATLAB and explain you the result in the simulation now. Suppose FP1 equal to 20 hertz and FP2 is equal to 2 by 3 times of FP1 and FP3 is equal to 5 by 4 times of FP1. You tell me now where the blend speed will be, where the first blend speed will be. You compute and tell me. Meanwhile, I will open the MATLAB code. Same steps follow karo. Please listen clearly. This much is not there in any book. Okay. Now I will. So our value is 2 by 3 and 4 by 3. Please listen here. This is our. All of you getting my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just look there. There are three PRFs. There are three PRFs. TP1, TP2 and TP3. That value you leave it now. That 2 into FP1, 3 into FP1, no, that you don't mind now. So there are three PRFs. These PRFs are generated in the same way. That is FP1 equal to 20 hertz, FP2 equal to 2 by 3 times of FP1, FP3 equal to 4 by 3 times of FP2. So listen now. So the red color, no, I mean, this is the first one. Are you following my cursor?
Yes, sir.
The dark blue, no, this color. So this color is the you see the legend also. Legend also is there, no, in the MATLAB. Hello?
Yes,
So
sir.
that
Yes,
color
sir.
match color then.
Yes,
So this is the first one, right? The thick blue, no, that is the first PRF one. Since the FP1 equal 20 hertz, there is a blend speed at 20 hertz, and then 40 hertz, and then 60. Sorry, right? 20, 40, 60, 80. Its blend speed corresponding to FP1 is at 20 hertz, obviously. Then FP2, that is a 13.33. So red color, you dekho here. First blend speed is here. Then second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, and so on. Then go to FP3. FP3 is here. 1, 2, and then 3 now. Now what happened? There are so many blend speeds in between from 0 to 80 hertz now. But all those things are no matter here because we are stacking within 3 PRFs. Therefore, the composite effect, the combined effect of this PRF is shown in the thick plot. You understand now? The thick plot is there now. You see there. It is not coming to 0 at all. The first blend speed is not at 20 or not at 13.3 or not at 26.6. It is pushed away to 80 hertz. It is pushed away to 80 hertz now. So look there at 80 hertz, all these 3 PRFs blend speeds are 0. The response of all these 3 PRFs are resulted to 0 at 80 hertz. Therefore, the 80 hertz is the true blend speed now. The actual blend speeds are alag alag hai. PRF 1 ke liye alag hai, PRF 2 ke liye alag hai, PRF 3 ke liye alag hai. But whereas because of the stacking, there is no any PRF before 80 hertz. The first PRF appears at 80 hertz only. Since the value 8 is the least common multiplier, the multiples of 80 also is valid here. That is also valid common multiplier. So 80 hertz and 160 hertz and so on all will be the blind speeds. But here the V1 is at 80 hertz as we computed. As we computed, if the FD is equal to 80 hertz, then the blend speed will appear here now. Then you can compute what is the corresponding velocity if the C-band radar is operated. Okay, that we can go back and do it. That we will do also now. You tell me, whenever F3 is generated by pi by 4, where it should be? What will be the first blind speed?
400.
Kitna? 400.
Yes, sir.
R3, I am changing to 5 by 4. 5 by 4.
200.
200 or 400? You keep the value whatever you got. You will run the code and then you will check.
200, sir.
200, sir.
Kitna?
200, sir.
200 होगा.
So you run it, you will see where it will be. Exactly, it is at the 200 hertz. 200 hertz now. You see there the combined response of the delay line canceller. Combined response of the delay line canceller is not at 80 hertz, not at 50 hertz, not at 150 hertz. We pushed it away. That means we pushed further from 80 hertz to 200 hertz now. So now the blind speed is at 200 hertz. True blind speed is at 200 hertz now. So this is the way how one should compute the values. So if you decide 2 by 3 or 5 by 3, you will come to know what is the blind speed from the simulation. Accordingly, you can choose the correct value, right? Then we will move further. Our what will be the VB if it is your okay, now we will continue. What is the value for N1? I mean, in the earlier case, what is eta 1 and what is eta 2 and what is eta 3?
Eta 1 4, sir.
Eta 1 4.
Eta 2 6.
I mean,
Eta
I'm
3
talking.
3.
Oh, I will go back then. I will go back to that one. You tell me for this one, second one. 20 gets 2 by 3 FP, 5 by 4 FP1.
N1 is 10.
N1 is 10.
N2 is 15.
15. N3?
N3 is 8.
8, huh?
Yes.
Okay, wait. So now you look here. 10th, the blind speed will appear at the 10th first PRF blind speed. That means 10 times it is shifted further. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. And then second PRF is shifted 15 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And third one is shifted 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all. Right. So means by this procedure, one will understand how to shift the first blend speed whenever we stack the PRF and what is the procedure for estimating it, computing the first blend speed before choosing the values. Or you can choose different values and then you can check in the simulation where is the first blind speed. Accordingly, you can decide. You can fix whether that much PRF is sufficient or you needed to tune further. This is very much essential because sometimes we need to fix the first blend speed. We have to decide where to push the first blend speed. Accordingly, we have to choose this FP1, FP2 and FP3 and so on, FP4, FP5. The same thing we can apply for 4 PRF, 5 PRF and n number of PRFs. Right. Next, we will continue this discussion. What is the time average? All these PRFs, time average TAV is equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3 divided by total number of PRFs, that is N. So that is equal to, you tell me what is the TAV for this one? For our this case, here TP1 is 0.05 plus TP2 is 0.075 plus TP3 is 0.037 divided by 3. That is equal to how much? TAV. That is the average time period. Because we are stacking in between FP1, FP2, FP3, no? So the average time period is equal to TAV is what?
0.234.
0.234. 0.05 plus 0.75 plus 0.037 divided by 3 is equal to
234.
234. Then the blind speed corresponding to this average time. So that means if you operate your PRF at this time means your VB blind speed whenever we are operating at a average time of these 3 PRF, VB is equal to lambda divided by 2 TAV. This has come from that equation n into lambda divided by 2 TP, right? So that is equal to how much? TAV is here. Lambda we know. This is the, you assume that this is the 5 gigahertz radar, C band radar. So F equal to 5 gigahertz. So tell me the VB value. Your VB should be
128.
0.55. No, yeah, wrong. Meter per second. VB is equal to 0.55 meter per second.
Sir, TAV is 0.054.
Some mistake somewhere. What is the value here? TAV is
Yes,
equal
sir.
to
0.054.
0.054.
54 second. Okay. So now your VB is equal. That means this is the speed. This is the speed when the PRF is at average time. At average time of FP1, FP2 and FP3 and FP3 and FP3. That means whenever you take the average, doesn't mean that at the average you can operate it. Because if you operate it at the average, VB is equal to 0.55 meter per second. Right. Is the first blind speed now. Next, we will go this blind speed. The first blind speed V1 is equal to eta 1 plus eta 2 plus eta 3 divided by 3 means n into VB, that is equal to, tell me, that means this blend speed is increased now, increased because of staggered operation. Otherwise we can go for straight away average operation. So you can operate only at 1 PRF, which is the average value of your all these 3 PRFs. If you operate at 1 PRF again, at average value, your blend speed will come down. The velocity is here 0.55 meter per second only. But because of this stacking, that means operating at multiple PRFs, the V1 will go up now. We will find how much it is going up. The mainly it is going up by neta 1, neta 2, neta 3. That means which multiplies with the FP values and making it to far away. What is the V1?
6.105.
6.105. V1 is equal to eta 1 plus eta 2. That is, tell me the value 6 plus 4 plus 3
6.
divided by 3 into 0.555. That is equal to V1 is equal to how much you told me?
सर ईटा 10 15 8 है सर ना.
No.
10 15
We are comparing with the previous example. Because these times are taken for previous example, no? Example 1.
2.405.
2.405
5.
V1 meter per second. See, you understand here, because if you take the average time and then if you estimate the blind speed, the maximum speed is 0.55 meter per second. Means at this one, you will get your V1. You will get your V1 if the target is operated at the average time of these three PRFs. But because of the stacking operation, the V1 is equal to 2.405 meter per second. It is increased now. The velocity is increased now, right? And its corresponding Doppler. What is its corresponding Doppler? That means you can operate the target 2.405 meter per second, increased velocity. And what is its corresponding Doppler? We know that FD is equal to 2 V1 divided by lambda. So substitute here and then you tell me what is the FD? That means at which FD the first blind speed will appear whenever we are using this stacked PRF. That will be equal to the first blind speed, what we obtained in the simulation result.
80.16.
FD is equal to how much? 2 into this value divided by lambda. 80 na?
Yes, sir.
80, sir.
FD equal to 80. This is the reason why we got our V1 at 80 hertz in the simulation. 80 hertz in the simulation. The idea is whenever we are stacking the beams, whenever we are stacking the PRFs, obviously the velocity goes up. Velocity means the blind speed velocity goes up. Therefore, accordingly, the first blind speed Doppler frequency also is going up. That is also increased. So FD equal to 80 hertz. 80 hertz. If the FP is equal to 80 hertz, then the first blind speed will appear. First blind speed will appear at this frequency now, right? So that is the idea in this one. This is the way how one can able to compute the blind speed value, where the blind speed will be in Doppler frequency or in the velocity also now. So in that case, 80 hertz में we got the first blind speed. 80 hertz is corresponding to Doppler frequency. Uska corresponding velocity is 2.405 meter per second when we use the C band. When you use the C band. So you tell me now what is the V1, what is the VB, and what is the V1 for second example? What is the VB and what is the V1 and what is the corresponding FD? For second example, you tell me.
0.545.
PB is 0.545 meter per second. V1 5.99 meter per second. इसका FD in C band Because the band, operating frequency of the radar is very much essential. Otherwise, what happened? If you operate the same target at X band, then your FD will be different.
$200.
FD equal to 200 hertz. This is what we got. We got the first blind speed. First blind speed. So I'd stop at this level. Maybe we will continue. Can we have tomorrow morning 8 to 9 lecture? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Anjali, tomorrow morning 8 to 9, you put it in the group, and then again 11 to 12, we will finish this one. Huh? Then one more topic I unable to complete. That is some range related to range gate and velocity gate, and then N delay line canceller, matched filter, then CFAR. So these things we will finish tomorrow. Then we will complete this unit. Any questions, please ask me. If no questions, you can leave. For all these things, you can refer the Skolnick book. For these topics, that book is good.
Sir, Ambudhi here.
Yes. Yes.
Sir, one doubt related to earlier classes.
Hmm.
Sir, if you want to calculate in reverse order, if you want to find out which band the radar is working,
Which band?
which band this radar is, enemy radar is working, and we have duty cycles and PRF available.
Huh.
Then, sir, how we calculate, sir?
We want to identify which band the radar is working.
Yes, sir, enemy radar is working, sir. For electronics attack and warfare related, sir, issue.
See, which band, no, you can calculate it by looking the signal for longer period. See, no matter you can get your tau, you can get your listening period, all those things you can obtain.
Okay, sir.
But inside, no, that waveform design is there, no.
Yes, sir.
That waveform, if they continuously keep changing, it is difficult to get it. But you can come to know, you can get that frequency, band, everything you can obtain. But only thing is security faults where we keep continuously tracking and changing the internal radar parameters, no?
Yes, sir.
For example, suppose I am using Barker code. So I will use the first code, then third code, fourth code, fifth code. Sometimes I will use in a stepped LFM, linear LFM. Then I go for my own OFDM waveform. The information is extraction is difficult.
Yes, sir.
Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
But you can extract all those things. Pulse with pulse time, observation time, everything you can extract it. That is the basic principle of ECM, no?
Yes, sir.
That is the way how you are generating the jamming pulse then. To fool that expected radar. Correct, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Basically, sir, in our warship, we are using composite communication system to share the data from one warship to another warship. Then in this, if you want to calculate which frequency the data is transmitting, that's why, sir.
See, but on any case, no, you should have long observation. You should have longer data sets with you.
Okay, sir.
Just by observing 1 day or 1 week, we cannot get anything, no? We should quietly keep watching the signature. Correct, no?
Okay,
Then you
yes,
can
sir.
analyze and you can get it back. There are
Yes,
various
sir.
algorithms. By processing it, you can get it back. But only thing is you should have the huge amount of data.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
no? Okay.
Okay.
Any more questions?